A new analysis of the economic impact of the military in San Diego shows defense spending generates an estimated 340,000 jobs in the region. KPBS reporter Alison St John joins me now with more on this story. Welcome, Alison.
Pleased to be here, Gloria.
First of all, where does the analysis come from?
Well, it's funded by SDMAC, which is short for San Diego Military Advisory Council, which is a non-profit group of mainly business interests that advocates for the interests of the military in this region.
So the report compares the role of the military in San Diego to the entertainment industry in Los Angeles, to the financial industry in Wall Street, in New York. So how much money is actually coming to San Diego through the Department of Defense?
It's big, Gloria. They estimate that this year it's about $17 billion, and that's the only figures that there are hard figures for is 2 years ago, 2008, but even then it was $16 billion, and since then we've seen an increase, and it looks like there's probably a spike last year, and it could be that we reached the peak, but it has been growing steadily since 2004, about 8% a year.
So how do we feel that? What does it pay for?
So that pays for the salaries of about 130,000, 140,000 people in the military, and it pays for the benefits of about 244,000 veterans that live in San Diego. It also covers all the defense contractors we have a lot of those in San Diego County. So it covers a broad gamut, a lot of manufacturing research as well as the actual military training.
Is there any way of knowing how many jobs this actually creates?
Yes, it's about 340,000 by estimate this year. In 2008, they estimate by direct and indirect spending, it's 328,000.
Jobs?
Jobs.
Okay, so what percentage of total jobs would that be in San Diego?
Well, that is an important question. It is a very large percentage of the jobs in San Diego. They estimate it's about 23%. That is a slightly lower estimate than the study that they put out 2 years ago. They took a look at their multipliers and some of their underlying assumptions and decided that it wasn't as high as 27% of all the jobs, but 23% of jobs in San Diego is still a very significant part of our economy.
It really is. It's almost 1 out of 4. And when you look back to previous years, how has the military presence here changed, fluctuated?
Well, back in the 50s, like after World War II, we were in a position, I think, that where we were more vulnerable to cuts because so much of our economy, maybe 40% of the jobs there, and then at the beginning of the century, last century, most of the jobs here were military. So one of the questions is San Diego making itself a little vulnerable by having so much of its economy invested in DoD spending? Right. And what the SDMAC president, Tony Nufro, explained was that he feels that the economy in San Diego is now more diverse, and so we are less vulnerable to the historic booms and busts of military spending.
Well, now the USS Vincent is here, the big aircraft carrier. What's the latest on the number of military vessels that will be coming into San Diego, and therefore, I assume, increasing military spending here?
Well, we have a new commander of Navy Region Southwest, Admiral William French, came in a few months ago, and he says that the number of ships is going to go up from 56 to 83 by 2014. So that's almost, that's another third, again, on top of what we have. So there's a very large increase and 7,000 to 10,000 more sailors coming with them.